The SBA has a new PPP forgiveness application form that makes the PPP loan forgiveness process a lot easier and simpler, especially for independent contractors. In this video, we're going to show you step by step how to complete this new form so you can achieve full forgiveness on your PPP loan. Hello from Freedomtax Accounting. We are an accounting firm where we have been providing quality tax and accounting services now for over 20 years. If you're new to this channel, we provide the best tax and accounting strategies for small business owners so they can achieve their financial goals. But for the last couple of months, we have been concentrating on the SBA PPP and EIDL loan programs. Today is October 15th. And we always emphasize the date of the recording on any video recording the PPP loan program, because if you have been following the PPP loan saga, you know that this program has been constantly changing. So there may be things we discuss in this video today that may change as soon as tomorrow. So that's the importance of subscribing to our channel. That way you're always up to date with the most current and correct information regarding this SBA loans. Well, what will we talk about in this video? Well, we're going to show you step by step how to complete the new PPP loan forgiveness application form, which is called the 3508S. We're going to emphasize how to fill out this form if you're self-employed, independent contractor, sole proprietor, single member LLC, basically anyone whose business files their taxes on the Schedule C. If you have an S corporation, C corporation, or a partnership, this video is not for you. We will discuss how to fill out this form for S Corps, C Corps, and partnership in the video that we will release tomorrow. We will also show you the documents that you must submit with this new forgiveness application, and how and when to submit your 3508S forgiveness form so you can finally get and finalize the PPP loan forgiveness process. Now, before we continue, remember that this video is intended for educational purposes and should not be taken as legal or tax advice. You should consult with your financial professional about your unique financial situation before acting on anything we discuss in this video. Freedomtax Accounting or its members cannot be held liable for any use or misuse of this content. Now, basically, if you have been following the PPP loan program, now we have three, not one, not two, but three different PPP forgiveness application forms. We have the 3508, we have the 3508EZ, and the new one is called 3508S. which is the one that we're going to discuss today, which every independent contractor, self-employed, sole proprietor should use this new 3508S form. If you're interested in knowing when to use what form, watch this video, which we recorded last week, where we show you examples of when to use which form. Watch the video here, or there's a link in the description below. Okay? Now, basically, let's go into the form. The form 3508S for self-employed, independent contractors, sole proprietorships, basically anyone whose business files under the Schedule C, is for PPP loans of $50,000 or less. This should not be an issue if you're self-employed, because the max amount eligible for PPP loan for self-employed was $20,833. If you're self-employed, independent contractor, sole proprietorship, if your business filed under Schedule C and you got a PPP loan that's higher than $20,833, then there's two possibilities. The first one is that you had payroll in 2019, meaning that you had employees with W-2s, not 1099s, not independent contractors, meaning that you were self-employed, but you had payroll in 2019. This is super rare, but there are some cases where this happens. Or you got the wrong amount of PPP loan funds, which if this is your case, in later on this video, we're going to tell you what's going to happen with your case. Now, first of all, where do you get the Form 3508S? You can get it from the SBA website, you can get it from the U.S. Department of Treasury website, or we are going to provide a link to the form in the description of this video. So let's go to the form, all right? So this is the new PPP application form, okay? See, it says the 3508S. So basically, let me put it a little smaller so it fits here, all right? It's a very simple form. It's a 2-page form, and let's go step by step on how to fill it out. First part is basic information about your business. It tells you here in this box, you're going to put your business name. If you're self-employed and you don't have a business registered, then it's your name. Here you put the DBA or your trade name. Here in these boxes, you add your business address. In this box, you provide your business EIN number, or if you're self-employed and you don't have a registered corporation or LLC, then here you just add your social security number. Here you add your business phone. Here you put your name or the primary contact of the business. And here you put your email address. Now let's go to the second part. In this part, you're going to put your SBA PPP loan number. Now you can find this in several documents. You can find it in your resolution to borrow. When you signed your PPP loan contract, you should have received this document. This document here on the top tells you loan number, and here's the number of your loan. Also, this document will tell you your PPP loan amount. You can see it here, and the date you got your loan. Also, when you signed the PPP loan contract, the SBA sent you the note. This is the SBA note, where here in this line it says SBA loan number. Here's where you can find the SBA loan number. And also here you can find the date that you received the funds and the amount that you got. Okay? So that's where you get that information. Now, in this box right here is the lender PPP loan number. This number you need to get from the bank that gave you the PPP loan. Either from Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Chase, Cabbage, Blue Vine, Lendio, whatever bank gave you the PPP loan, they need to provide the lender PPP loan number. In this box, you have to add the PPP loan amount. It's the amount that you received. And once again, if you see your PPP loan documents, you can see the amount that you got. Okay? Here, in the PPP loan disbursement date, here you're going to add the date that you received the funds. And once again, on the resolution to borrow document and on the SBA note, the date is the date that this is the date that you got the loan. So that's the date that goes in this line. Okay? Now, employees at time of loan application. Since you're self-employed, most probably you don't have employees. Once again, it's not contractors. Employees are people that you pay under payroll and you give them a W-2 at the end of the year. If you are self-employed and you have employees, then this video is not for you. We are working with self-employed independent contractors, sole proprietorships which usually don't have employees. So the employees at time of loan application, you just put 0, okay, because you don't have employees. Same with here, employees at time of forgiveness of application, you put 0 because you do not have employees. You're a sole proprietorship. Now, in this line where it says EIDL advance amount, if you got an EIDL advance or grant, if you're self-employed, most probably you got $1,000. If you got more, then you add here the amount you got. Now, don't put here the EIDL loan amount. Remember, the EIDL has two parts. There's the EIDL advance or grant, and there's the EIDL loan. Here you only add the EIDL loan, EIDL grant or advance. In this line, the EIDL application number, this is where you put the EIDL application number. Where do you get this number from? When you completed the EIDL loan application online, the last page took you to this page where they gave you a number here. This is the number for your EIDL loan application. If you don't have this page, then your EIDL loan contract, if you see the contract on the top right, it says application number. This is the number you put in the 3508S form. Not this number. This is the SBA loan, EIDL loan number. They're asking for the application number, which is this number on the top right. Okay? Now, for example, here, let's say that the PPP loan amount is $10,000. You put that here. Let's say in this case that you applied for the EIDL grant later on where it was not available. So this is 0. And now the forgiveness amount. Now this is where you have to do some math, okay? Because this is the PPP loan amount that you got, but here you're going to put your forgiveness amount, and the SBA is basically telling you, the business owner, do this calculation yourself and make sure you do it correctly. So how do we do that? You need to go to your 2019 Schedule C. This is inside your 2019 personal tax return. Now, one mistake people are doing is that they're using their 2018 Schedule C. No, you have to use your 2019 Schedule C, which is inside your 2019 personal tax return. So in this page, you scroll down to line 31, which is right here. This is line 31. So you take line 31 of your Schedule C, okay? And you take line 31 of your 2019 Schedule C with a max of $100,000. So for example, if in your Schedule C, line 31, you have $125,000 for this formula, you only use $100,000. That's the max number you can use for this formula. So line 31, you divide it by 12, and then you multiply by 2.5. And that's your forgiveness amount. For example, let's say that in line 31 of your 2019 Schedule C, it says $48,000. You divide by 12, you multiply by 2.5, you get $10,000. So in the forgiveness application form, where it says forgiveness amount, you put $10,000. So in this case, you received $10,000 and your forgiveness amount is $10,000. So you got full forgiveness. Now, what happens if you got an EIDL advance of $1,000? Okay? Once again, if you got an EIDL grant or advance, whatever amount you received, you have to put it in this line. If you're self-employed, the correct amount you should have received is $1,000. If you got more, then put the number you received. What this will do is that the forgiveness, when you send this to the SBA, to your bank, they will tell you that your forgiveness amount is not $10,000. It's $9,000, because whatever EIDL advance you received will get deducted from your forgiveness amount. So if you got $10,000 forgiveness and you received $1,000 of EIDL grant, when the SBA tells you how much you are forgiven, they're going to tell you that $9,000 are forgiven, but that $1,000 are not forgiven. So this $1,000 will become a loan with your bank. Okay? If you receive the PPP loan before June 5th, then this will become a 2-year loan at 1% interest, but you can negotiate with your bank to change the 2-year loan to a 5-year loan. If you got PPP funds on June 5th or after, then this will automatically become a 5-year loan at 1% interest. Okay? Now, what happens if you got the incorrect amount of PPP loan funds, which is a common mistake? Let's say that the bank made a mistake and instead of $10,000, you got $20,000 PPP loan amount, but when you do your calculation for forgiveness, remember the calculation that we did, this one, line 31, $48,000 divided by 12 multiplied by 2.5. This is the correct forgiveness amount. So in this case, you got more PPP funds than you were eligible for. So in this case, you got $10,000. You're going to get forgiven $10,000, but you also got an EIDL advance. So basically now you're going to have to pay back to the bank as a loan the $1,000 of the grant plus the additional $10,000 you got of additional PPP loan amount. Okay, so since you received $10,000 more than you should have, that's $10,000 that is not going to be forgiven, plus a $1,000 grant. That's now an $11,000 loan that you have with your bank. Okay? Now, after you complete this part, you just have to sign these boxes here, or you put your initials, where you are certifying all these paragraphs. Basically here, you're certifying that you use the funds correctly. If you're self-employed, you don't have a lot of documents to show because you can use it entirely as owner compensation. Here you're certifying that if you use the funds incorrectly, the government may pursue recovery of the loan amounts. Here you certify that you used the correct formula for calculation of forgiveness. Here you're certifying that you are submitting the correct documentation to the bank, which we are going to tell you what documentation you need to submit with this form. Here you're certifying that the information that you are providing is correct and it is true, and it says that in the future, if they find out it is false, you can get a fine or even go to prison. You are certifying that the tax documents that you have to submit with this application are consistent and the same information that you provided to the IRS, because they are going to cross-check that whatever you sent to the IRS is the same information you are providing to the SBA, and that you are certifying that the SBA has the authority to cross-check with the IRS. And you are also certifying that the SBA has the right to ask for additional information, and that they have 6 years to audit your case. Then you sign, you print your name, the date, and your title if you're the owner. Okay? Sorry. Now, that's the first page. The second page is optional. You really don't have to fill out this part. This is just for demographical purposes. Here you put your name, your title, if you're a veteran, gender, your race, and ethnicity. Now this is optional. You do not have to fill out this form to achieve forgiveness. So now we are done filling out the 3508S form. Okay? Now this is just the first step. Okay? Now, before we discuss the documents that you need to submit with the 3508S form, if you're getting value out of this video, please like this button, subscribe to our channel, share this video with other business owners that can take advantage of this information. Also, before we continue, in the comments below, we would really like you to answer this question. Is your bank already accepting PPP forgiveness applications? We would really like to know which bank is already accepting applications, because we know a lot of banks are not accepting applications at this time. So thank you for answering this question in the comments below. Now, the documentation that you have to provide with your 3508S form is your 2019 Schedule C. Okay? So that's the documentation that you need to file with the 3508 PPP forgiveness form. Now, when and how do you submit the application form and the documentation? You have to submit it with your bank or lender. You do not submit it to the SBA. So if you got the PPP through Bank of America, it's with Bank of America, Cabbage, Blue Vine, Chase, Wells Fargo, Lendio, your credit union, your local bank, whatever bank or lender gave you the PPP funds, that's who you submit these documents to. Now you have to check if your bank or lender is accepting these documents right now. Most of them are not accepting these applications because they are preparing their system, because this is very new, to start this process. Now, your bank or lender may have their own equivalent 3508S form. So we suggest that if your bank has their own version of this form, it will be a good exercise to still fill out this form, because your bank's version is going to ask for the same information. Most probably your bank's version of the 3508S form is going to be an online form. So instead of you having to submit the paperwork physically to the bank, most probably your bank is going to send you to a website where you fill out the information online, but it's going to be the same information. So fill out the physical 3508S form, and if your bank sends you to an online form, just basically take the information from the 3508S form and you fill out the online form for your bank's equivalent. Okay? Now, if your bank is accepting PPP forgiveness applications at this time, submit it as soon as possible. The year's ending, and the sooner you get this PPP forgiveness out of the way, the better. You do not want this PPP forgiveness to drag well into 2021. This has a lot of tax implications, which we will do a video on, but basically you cannot file your 2020 business taxes, which you file next year in 2021. You cannot file your 2020 business taxes until you know the amount of forgiveness the SBA is going to give you. All right? That has a huge tax implications. Okay? Now, thank you for watching this video. Remember to subscribe to our channel and to click the bell. That way you get notified whenever we put our weekly video up. Also watch the suggested video, which we discuss how the PPP will affect your taxes. Thank you for watching. God bless you. Bye-bye.